Hey, what is up guys? This is Kaustubh Chaudhary from Tech Depth, back again with another video. And today we're at the JW Marriott Hotel at the launch of the first premium crossover car from Maruti Suzuki, the S-Cross. So basically what we have in store for you today is giving you an in-depth look at the interiors of the car, what all it offers, because the features of the car is something that's really being talked about, and of course the exteriors and some other bits and my thoughts on the car. So let's dive right into it.
The event kicked off with a dramatic orchestral performance, and the car made its grand entrance being driven in by none other than the ED Marketing and Sales Maruti Suzuki, Mr. R.S. Kalsi himself. And seen accompanying him was the MD and CEO of Maruti Suzuki India, Mr. Kenichi Ayukawa. The S-Cross is the first car to be launched under Maruti's new premium dealership brand Nexa, and will be launched across all Nexa outlets in 5 colors in 7 variants ranging from 8.34 to 13.74 lakhs. The front of the car in appearance is unmistakably a Suzuki that carries that familiar chrome grille, the lower half of the muscular looking bumper being blacked out in typical premium SUV fashion by a plastic cladding, which is in turn overlapped by a silver scuff plate right at the bottom. To complement all this, we also have silver accents right at the bottom and around the fog light housings. The overall shape and the low bonnet give the car an appearance of a large hatchback on a raised suspension rather than a mini SUV. The car gets projector headlamps with LED strips, daytime running lights, the footprint of which reminds me a lot of the SX4. These lights are also automatic, meaning they light up automatically as it gets dark. And so are the wipers, which will start functioning as soon as rain is sensed. Now, looking at the car from the side, the first thing that came to my mind was how much it resembles the Mazda 3, which is a good thing. The car gets 180mm of ground clearance apart from those scuffs on the doors. Now, there is a reason the door mirrors are mounted directly on the doors rather than being mounted on the A-pillars in typical Honda City ZX fashion. And the reason is this. When we are at a certain speed and we have to maneuver the car or take a steep left turn or a right turn, the A-pillar comes in the way and it blocks our view. So this was done to keep the A-pillar as thin as possible while, giving it the look that one would desire for. Now, looks is quite a subjective matter really, and I actually had a mixed feeling when I looked at the alloy wheel design. So I guess you know when you look at it whether you like it or not. The rear, as a part of the simple and sober overall look of the car, does not carry any sparkle up its sleeve too. The tail lamps complement the look of the headlamps, but overall an addition of a few extra curves maybe wouldn't have caused the car any harm.
Let's now take a quick look at the boot. So as soon as you open the boot, you're greeted by a decent 360-ish liters of space inside.
The rear backrest gets a 60-40 drop-down split option, which basically means you can drop either side of the backrest or both in case you need to for that huge loading space. The loading lip is not at all elevated, making for a hassle-free luggage loading experience. Now, the engine options we have are the DDIS 200 and DDIS 320. Both diesel engines that produce 20.4 and 30.6 kgm of torque respectively. Yes, no diesel options, as according to Maruti's survey, people who want to go for such a car mostly prefer diesel engine. The DDIS 200 is basically a 1248cc unit that churns out a healthy 89 bhp of peak power at around 4000 rpm. Whereas the DDIS 320 is a 1598cc unit that produces a powerful 118 bhp of peak power between 3700 to 3800 rpm. The engine displayed at the show was the 1.6 litre version.
Now, as subdued or as plain as the exteriors of the car may seem at first glance, the moment you step inside the cabin, you're greeted by this beautiful layout of interiors, of design and planning that you have never really experienced in a Maruti Suzuki car ever before, with the exception of Kizashi, of course. But that's a different ball game altogether, as it's in a different segment. In this segment, this is the first time we're looking at something so premium and so well laid out. Right from the 7-inch infotainment system screen, to the climate control system, to the knobs, gear lever, which actually is very reminiscent of the Skoda Laura gear lever that was found in the second generation Octavia, if you will. And of course, you're greeted by loads of cubby holes, so placing your bottles or just putting your mobile or charger or anything of that sort anywhere in the car shouldn't be a problem, even if you have plenty of things to carry around. Right from the way the buttons feel to the placement, the layout of the buttons, I mean the volume plus and down, the mode, you have your cruise, your cancel button, everything, the horn, everything has been so well laid out. It's so much in your reach. And the thickness of the steering is just perfect, to hold. And it's basically something that you would really love or really enjoy holding when you go out for those beautiful weekend vacations, if you will. This car also offers, for the first time, is voice response. So what I mean by voice response is, if you're into phones, you would know that Moto X is really popular for offering such a feature. The touchless controls. It's something similar to that. So I'll explain it in a very simple way. If I want to place a call to a friend while driving, and the situation in which I'm driving is a very difficult scenario in which I really can't look anywhere else and pull out my phone or dial a number, the microphone of the car will always be listening to what I say. As soon as I say that command, it will listen to register the command that I give it. So for example, I want to call a particular friend, I just say the name of that friend and the car dials that friend's number for me. Brilliant, isn't it? Play a song, and as opposed to the conventional way or the old way, if you will, of playing songs through a CD which has about 180 songs, or even a pen drive that has many more songs, about 500, 600 songs loaded, and you actually have to take your eyes off the road to actually search and key in the name of the song that you want to listen to, you can just say the name of the song and it will play it for you.
The dials are backlit in a nice shade of blue and add a splash of much needed color to the dark looking cabin. The instrument cluster is easy to read and looks smart, just like it does on the Ciaz. The material quality is the highlighting factor here. With the exception of some hard plastic bits used on the glove box, the upper part of the dash has been laid out with a generous use of soft touch plastics with no signs of cost cutting. The overall look, just as we saw in the Ciaz, is very elegant and inviting, and Suzuki has nailed it here. The front leather armrest feels sturdy and carries in it quite a large storage box. You of course get twin bright lights up top and more lights with the mirrors that hide within the sun visors on either side of the car. The smartphone integration, leather upholstery, chrome outlined air cons, Bluetooth connectivity, start-stop button, and of course the responsive touchscreen all add to the total package. For your reference, my height is 6 feet 1 and this seat has been basically pushed back according to my comfort. So when a tall driver sits and pushes the seat backwards to its full extent, it's not like my knees are pushing into the back of the seat. It's like they're touching, but then, for those small journeys, it's not something I'd be concerned about. Overall, I feel the space has been very well laid out, and as far as the leg room and the space at the rear is concerned, it's quite good. It gets a thumbs up for me for this segment, definitely.
Now this car is expected to go against cars like the Duster and Creta. And to me it seems like something that fills the space between the i20 Active and Creta. That being said, Maruti is very clear that this car was meant to be a crossover and not an all-out SUV.
With an aggressive pricing and loads of interior space, it's surely meant to attract the customers who seek practicality and a hassle-free ownership experience, something that Maruti is most well known for. This again is Kaustubh Chaudhary from Tech Depth, and I'll see you in the next one.